च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। ब्रह्माहं यत्प्रसादेन मयि विश्वं प्रकल्पितं श्रीमत्स्वयं प्रकाशाख्यं प्रणौमि जगतां गुरुं। यः परमात्मा जगत् सृष्ट्वा प्रविवेश पुनः स्वयं तं कृष्णं प्रत्यगात्मानं वन्दे गोपी मनोहरम्। यस्य प्रसादात् अहमद्वयात्मा विश्वं समस्तं मयि कल्पितं च तं सर्वलोकैकगुरुं सदाश्री स्वयं प्रकाशं गुरुमानतोऽस्मि। गुरूणां चरणां भोजं प्रणिपत्य निरन्तरं तत्कृपालेशतो द्वैत अद्वैत चिंता कौस्तुभमारभे। Now that we have understood how the pratyaksha jnanam takes place, because your author has given a very explicit example. Just as the water from the pond running through the channel reaches the agricultural plot, and having reached, it assumes the shape of the plot, which is then demarked by raising the mounds of the clay or the mud soil, creating a boundary line, a boundary wall. Not a line, but it will be a boundary wall. So just as now that water has, as the water has entered and taken the shape of that agricultural field, it is the same way in which now the author wants us to understand how does the pratyaksha jnanam takes place. In the sense, presently, we are talking about the indriya pratyaksha. How does that take place? Look at that. Tatha hi tatra aparoksha vrittehe utpatti prakaram sadrishtantam vyutpadayati. We are on page number 172 in the PDF, 138 in the physical copy. Tatra aparoksha vrittehe utpatti prakaram. How does the aparoksha vritti, meaning now we are not, he is talking about the what is said as to be the cognitive experience. Okay. Now there are other cognitions, but these cognitions remain cognitions. For example, when you understand there is fire in the mountain which is 10 miles away, it is the knowledge about the fire is not your experience. It is cognitive knowledge, but it doesn't amount to be called as an experience. So now, tathahi, now we are looking at something as experience. Okay. Aparoksha vritti. Now aparoksha vritti here means experience, and that aparoksha means knowledge, which is without any vyavadhanam, without any obstacle. So thus, tatra aparoksha vrittehe utpatti prakaram sadrishtantam vyutpadayati. What is the author trying to do over here? he is trying to explain Vyutpadayati. He explains, he justifies, he reveals as how the experience, now that experience has gotten cognitive element. Vritti is already there. And so, vritte utpatti prakaram. Which vritti is this? But it is the vritti, it is a experience, cognitive experience. There is or experiential cognition. I call it that way. So, aparoksha vrittehe utpatti prakaram aha sadrishtantam vyutpadayati. Tathahi tadagodakam chhidran nirgatya kulya dvara kedaram pravishya चतुष्कोणाद्याकारेण यथा परिणमते तथा इंद्रियार्थ सन्निकर्षानन्तरम् अंतःकरणं चक्षुद्वारा विषयदेशं गत्वा तत्र संयुज्यते पश्चात् आकारेण परिणमते. So let us first try to understand the example, because that example is going to facilitate in several ways what the speaker or the author here wants to explain. Tadagodakam, the water from the pond. Tadaga means the pond or a lake. Tadagodakam. What happens to this chidran nirgatya? It has an outlet to go. So chidran nirgatya. Now running from that outlet, kulya dvara, through the channel or canal, through that canal or through that channel, kulya dvara kedaram pravishya, enters the agricultural plot. Ha pravishya chatushkonadya akarena yatha parinamate. Suppose whatever is the shape of that plot, and that shape then is demarked by the wall that is made of the soil around it, bund. Okay, in Pune there is a bund garden also. So it is bund. So chatushkonadya akarena yatha parinamate tadha indriyartha sannikarshat. Now, okay, now you have understood what has happened. Water from the pond running through the channels enters into the field, and water has assumed the shape of that field. You see, the water has taken the shape of that field plot. Parinamate tatha indriyartha sannikarshanantaram. Now, once when the indriya, meaning jnanendriya, and the, what do they call it, the object of knowledge meet, there is a contact. And this contact between the jnanendriya and the object has got a vishesh, has a special name, and it is called as sannikarsha. So what is it? Indriyartha sannikarshanantaram. Now, after this contact has taken place, antakaranam chakshuradi dvara. Now, through the, now this chakshu itself, which has contacted the object, becomes the dwara, becomes the door, okay, through which it has become that window, the outlet, just as for the water to run out into the channel. So also now this chakshu has become the channel through which the vritti, chakshu antakaranam, meaning the mind, now moves through the eyes. Say, suppose you are seeing the ghata. So mind moves out to that object through the eyes. Once it is moving through the eyes to contact the object, now this is going to be chakshu vritti. It is actually antakarana vritti. But because the chakshu has become the dwara, and therefore the antakaranam now functions as chakshu vritti. If the antakaranam goes out through the ears in the sense shravanendriya, now it will function in a different way. It is the antakarana vritti only. Chakshuradi dwara vishayadesham gatva. Having gone into that region, area, desha, space of the object, chakshuradi dwara vishayadesham gatva, tena sanyujyate. Okay, tena sanyujyate. Now becomes one with it. Then paschat tad akarena parinamate. Now this and takes the shape of that object. Just as the water entering into the field takes the shape of that plot. Parinamate. Soyam parinamo vrittihi. Now this transformation of the mind into the shape of the object. Now you have to understand, when I'm saying shape, just don't assume round and square and long and short. If it is going out through the shravanendriya and contacts the shabda, it takes the shape of that shabda. What shape does the shabda have? Long, big, small? No. So when we are saying akara, you have to understand it becomes similar to that object. Got it?
Yes, Swamiji.
It takes the shape. Now, furthermore, he says, this is called as vritti. Now, we have heard about antakarana vritti, antakarana vritti, antakarana vritti. What exactly do you, and vritti means modification of the antakarana, transformation of the antakarana. What is this transformation of the antakarana? So, where antakarana transforms, meaning it takes the shape of the object. That's all. Antakaranam taking the shape of the object is called as vritti. Tad akarena parinamate. Soyam parinamo vritti. Tasyam vrittau vishaya chaitanyam pratiphalati. Now, the object, meaning what? It is actually chaitanyam, conditioned by the object. Correct? Vishayavachinna chaitanyam. Now this Vishayavachinna chaitanyam gets reflected in the vritti. Tasyam vrittau vishaya chaitanyam pratiphalati. Up to this point, if you have understood, now let us look into the tika. Vritti iti uchyate iti sheshaha. Now this soyam parinamo vrittihi. This parinama is vritti, is called as vritti. Vritti iti uchyate iti sheshaha. Anumityadi sthale vishayendriya sannikarsha bhavat antakaranasya bahihi nirgama nasti tatra vanyadya akara vrityantaram eva vrittihi antaha eva jayate. Now, in case of our anumiti, etc., inference, where the knowledge is taking place, there is fire. So there is fire. If this knowledge is taking place, which means the antakaranam also has modified into the shape of the fire, becomes similar, right? Hope even though I'm saying the shape, you people understand what I mean, correct?
Yes.
Or it
Yeah.
needs more.
जी स्वामी जी,
हाँ,
जी
ठीक
स्वामी
है. हाँ, so what happens to the antakaranam? It still gets modified into the shape of that fire. Which is this fire? The fire in the mountain, which is far away. So now he says, Vishayendriya. So is the Vishaya and Indriya Sannikarsha taking place when he says there is fire in the mountain?
No. No.
No. So Vishayendriya Sannikarsha Abhava is there. So Vishaya Sannikarsha Abhava. Because of absence of the contact between the apparatus of knowledge and the object of knowledge, Vishayendriya Sannikarsha Bhavad, Antakaranasya Bahirnigaman Nasti Tatra. Now, so the Antakaran doesn't have to go out to assume the shape of the fire. Nasti tatra vanyadhyakara vrittireva antaha eva jayate. And therefore, this vannivritti, etc., which is taking place inside, not outside. Antareva jayate. Ataha eva tasya parokshatvam. And this is the reason why this knowledge of the fire in the mountain remains paroksha. Becomes indirect because the fire is outside, but knowledge is taking inside. So over there, ataha tasya parokshatu vritti is taking the shape of the vritti is taking inside. Ataha eva tasya parokshatvam vishayena sambandha bhavaditi bhavaha. Why? Because this chakshu, etc., chakshu has not the contact between the chakshu and the object has not taken place, and yet the knowledge is taking place. So that's why it is not direct knowledge, which means it is not an experience, it remains your knowledge. Parokshatvam vishayena sambandha bhavad. Ataha eva tasya parokshatvam. Now remember, why this knowledge of anumiti, etc., is paroksha. This is very, very important. Some people will keep on saying that paroksha means that, you simply have to believe in Swarga and Naraka, etc. No. Paroksha over here means where the knowledge is vyavadhana sahitam. And why? Then how can the knowledge, it can take place. Through inference, etc., it can take place. But it does not take the shape of the fire or the object by contacting it. So parokshatvam vishayena sambandha bhavad iti bhavaha. Astu tataha kim? Oh, let it be. So then what? Tatra aha tasyam iti. Tasyam. Now let it be. So what? And therefore now he says tasyam. Now when the vritti has thus parinama vritti, when the antakarana as having assumed the shape of that object, which now is called, this modification of antakaranam is called as vritti. Tasyam vrittau. In this vritti, vishaya chaitanyam pratiphalati. What is the meaning of pratiphalanam? Can anybody guess? What is the meaning of the word?
reflected,
Resulting.
reflected, Swamiji.
Reflection, correct. Reflection. Meera bede theek hai?
प्रतिबिंबितम.
हाँ स्वामी जी. जी हाँ.
Very good. Reflection. Now here it is taking place. Now furthermore. Tasyam vrittau vishaya chaitanyam pratiphalati. Acha. Then what? Tatopi came. टीका में देखना तस्याम इंद्रियार्थ सन्निकर्ष जन्य वृत्तौ इत्यर्थः तस्याम means what and which vritti are you talking about? So he makes it clear in the टीका इंद्रियार्थ सन्निकर्ष जन्य वृत्तौ. Which vritti is this?
Pratyaksha.
Na. As the टीका goes, say this is the vritti. Indriya. This is the Vishaya. So Indriyartha Sannikarsha has taken place. Indriyartha Sannikarsha Janya. Now why is the Antakaran modifying? What is the reason? What is the impetus for the Antakaranam to modify?
Indriya
Artha Sannikarshana.
Exactly.
Because
So the
Sannikarshana.
Janyatvam of this modification, the cause of this hetu of this modification is in this Sannikarsha. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And that's why, how does he say? In Indriya Artha Sannikarsha Janya. So Indriya Artha Sannikarsha Janya Vrittau. What is Janya through this Sannikarsha? Vritti is Janya.
Vritti.
In this vritti, there is pratiphalanam. Vishaya chaitanyam, ghatadya avachinna chaitanyam. What do you mean by Vishaya chaitanyam? What is the meaning, Sarita, of Vishaya chaitanyam?
घटादि अवच्छिन्न चैतन्यम स्वामी जी.
Meaning?
मीन्स जो घटादि जो विषय है उससे उसी से अवच्छिन्न हो चैतन्य उससे अवच्छिन्न होता है.
ठीक है. It means
Upadhi of
Vishaya
Vishaya.
avachinna chaitanyam. So ghata etc. is the Vishaya. Condition or limited. Chaitanyam limited by the ghata etc. So ghatadya avachinna chaitanyam. Tatopi came. Are bhai, let it get reflected. Then what happens? So what happens? Tatra tada. Now look at that. Every time Tatopi came tataha, he's saying, which means he's building up the steps through these questions. So you have to understand this is how step by step. So though our experience takes place immediately, yet this whole, it is a process. It is a process. And because it is a process, it moves in stages too. So ghatadya tada mood grantha tada vritti vishayayoho yugapat ekadeshasthatvena. Now slowly. Vritti. Now this is the vritti, which is covering the Vishaya. So the Vishaya and vritti is in the same space. Okay? Like the water from the water of the pond is in the same space as the field, agricultural plot. So here. Tada vritti vishayayoho yugapat ekadeshasthatvena. So, अरे भाई एक देश में तो हो सकता है. Ram was standing over here, then Ram left the space, Sham came and stood in the same place. So Sham and Ram were in the same place. No, it has to be yugapat, meaning simultaneously. So vritti vishayayoho yugapat. Yugapat means simultaneously, together. So vritti vishayayoho yugapat ekadeshasthatvena, being in the same space at the same time. ये भी चलो, नहीं तो same space अलग-अलग time हो जाएगा. That's why to mention that time is saying yugapat, together. ekadeshasthatvena tad upahita chaitanya bheda prayojakatvat. Now, this vritti is also having chaitanyam, vrityavachinna chaitanyam. Vrityavachinna chaitanyam. There is vritti pratiphalita chaitanyam also, and there is vrityavachinna chaitanyam also. Okay?
Yes, Swamiji.
Now, so what has happened? What has happened? Vritti viha tad upahita chaitanya bheda prayojakatvat. Yada indriyartha sannikaršanantaram घटाद्याकार बहिर्निर्गतान्तःकरण वृत्तौ विषय चैतन्यं प्रतिफलति tada iti yojana. Tada. Then what has happened? After this Vishayartha, Indriyartha Sannikarsha has taken place, Ghatadyakara Bahirnirgata Antakarana Vrittau. Now the Antakarana also has taken the shape of that Ghata, etc., which is now Vritti. Now, in that Vrittau, Vishaya Chaitanyam Pratifalati. Tada iti yojana. Then that Vishaya Chaitanyam, meaning Vishaya Pratifalitam Vishaya Avachinna Chaitanyam Pratifalati. So, Vritti Vishayayoho Yugapan Ekadeshasthatvena Mula Granthe. Vritti Vishayayoho Yugapan Ekadeshasthatvena Tad Upahita Chaitanya Bheda Prayojakatvan. Now the Chaitanya, which is conditioned in one place by the vritti and in other place conditioned by the Vishaya. Now this is both of them are in the same space. Okay, and therefore there is nothing that keeps the difference between the Chaitanyam in the knowledge, and therefore now tad upahita chaitanya bheda prayojakatvat. There is no prayojaka which can create the difference. Earlier, what was causing the difference? Being in different space. Antakarana-vachinna chaitanyam was inside. Vishaya-vachinna chaitanyam was outside.
Outside.
And therefore, now you are saying that there is a vyavadhanam, deshakrit vyavadhanam. Over here, when both of them are in the same space, in the same time, therefore no longer there is any vyavadhanam for this chaitanyam. And so, bheda prayojakatvat. Earlier, deshakala was the bheda prayojakam. Mula Granthe only. Pramana Chaitanyam Vishaya Chaitanya Bhinnam Bhavati. Now, what has happened? What Antakarana Vritti is this? Which Antakarana Vritti?
Chakshu.
Correct. It is the Chakshu Vritti. Okay, it is the Chakshu Vritti. And the Vishaya Chaitanya. Now this Chakshu Vritti, why is it called Chakshu Vritti? Because Chakshu has become the Dwar. Has become the door.
Pramana.
So it is
Chakshu.
Pramana Chaitanyam.
Yes, Swamiji.
So Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam, both of them become one. Chaitanya is already one. Chaitanya is one only. But the difference was there between the Pramana Chaitanya and Vishaya Chaitanya, because Pramana was here, the Vishaya was there. But when both of them are in the same space, in the same time, now there is no Bheda Prayojaka. And thus, Vishaya Chaitanya becomes one with the Pramana Chaitanyam. Sayam Pratyaksha Prama. And therefore, what we call as an experience is this Chaitanyam alone, but we call it as the direct experience of the Ghatapatadi Padartha when the Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam become one. Got it? Sayam Pratyaksha Prama. Tatra Vrityavaranam nivartate Chaitanyena Shyanam nivartate Pramayava Savarana Shyanam nivartate Tato Vishayaha Spurati Sakshina Antakarano Upahita Chaitanyam Sakshi. Tika part. Yatha Yugapad Ghatakha Ghatakar Vritti Ghatayoho Yugapat Ekada Ekadeshasthatvena. So Ghatakara Vritti and Ghata, both of them, of both, Yugapat Yugapat Ekada Ekadeshasthatvena Ekasmin Deshe Vidyamanattvena Vritti Ghatopadikayoho Chaitanyayoho. Now, how the Chaitanya, which is having the conditioning of Vritti in one place and having the conditioning of Ghata Vishaya in another place. Vritti Ghata Upadikayoho Chaitanyayoho Bheda Aprayojakatvad Bhedapadakatvad Bhedapadakatva Bheda Prayojakatvat means that which was causing the difference. That what was causing the difference? What is that element which was causing the difference? Desha and Kala. Correct?
Yes,
Karanam is Antardesha. Ghatadi Vastu is in the Bahirdesha. So now this difference caused by time and space is eliminated. Because there is nothing that can cause the difference. Time and space was what was causing the difference. No longer the time and space is there in between as an obstacle to cause the difference. So Bheda Prayojaka Abhavat. Time and space were the Bheda Prayojakas. They are not here anymore. And therefore, Yatha Sukhavachinna Chaitanyam Tadakara Vrityavachinna Chaitanyam Cha Ubhayam Abhinnam Bhavati Sukha Tadakara Vrityoho Ekasmin Sakshini Adhyastatvad Evam Ghata Tadakara Vrityoho Ekasmin Sakshini Adhyastatvad Vrityavachinna Pramana Chaitanyam Ghatadhyavachinna Vishaya Chaitanya Bhinnam Bhavati Ityarthaha. That goes a little longer line. We will have to break it in several places to see it. But now that we have read the Mula Grantha, look at the Mula again. So we have understood up to this point that Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam become one. Because Chaitanyam is same. But when conditioned by Pramana, conditioned by
Vishaya.
Now Pramana and Vishaya, both of them are in the same place. So the Chaitanyam, now look at this, Chaitanyam which is there below, though it may be conditioned on the top by Pramana and Vishaya, but the Chaitanyam now is one. There is no Bheda which can say Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam. So prama vishaya abhinnam bhavati sayam pratyaksha prama. This is what we call as the direct experience or direct knowledge. Sayam pratyaksha prama. Tatra vritti avaranam nivartate. Achaji, now everybody has got a function. So what happens? Vritti. What does the vritti do? It removes the avaranam caused by the ajnanam. Now we know there are ajnanam has got this two can cause two types of avaranas. It can conceal the object in two ways. What are those two avaranas?
Abhanapadaka and
Tattvapadaka.
Asatvapadaka avaranam and
Abhanapadaka.
abhanapadaka avaranam. आपादन करना मतलब लाना, ठीक है। आपादन करना, आपादन है लाने क्या, हाँ, तो अभान लाना अब और असत्व लाना मतलब it is not existing. This व्यवहार is there. Oh, do you know some you know what do they call it, Timbuktu? This fellow says, I don't know. Does it exist? What is Timbuktu? I don't even know what is Timbuktu. No, Timbuktu, he does not know whether it is that this Timbuktu is a place or name of a person or somebody's surname or some object or some fruit or a flower. He does not. For him, Timbuktu does not exist because he doesn't know. This not knowing, which is causing this vyavahar of its non-existence for this person is because of asatva padaka avaranam. So there are these two avaranas, and these avaranas, asatva padaka avaranam as well as the abhana padaka avaranam, is removed by the vritti. Tatra vrittya avaranam nivartate. Now, whenever the paroksha knowledge takes place, so now there are these two avaranas, okay? The asatva padaka avaranam is removed, but abhana padaka avaranam remains. All right. So therefore, you know that the object exists, something exists, but you cannot say I have the direct experience. You see, you cannot at this point say I have direct experience. What will you say? I know, but I don't have its experience. This is what you're going to say. आरो शुरू हो गया?
थोड़ा आता था हमारा जी, 1-1.5 घंटा लगाकर थोड़ा पानी इकट्ठा करता।
ओके, ठीक है। So tatra vrittya avaranam nivartate. Chaitanyena ajnanam nivartate. And these two avaranas are the avaranas of ajnanam. Avarana can be removed, but does that mean that ajnanam is gone? He says no. The ajnanam is something still vishesha. So chaitanyena ajnanam nivartate, and ajnanam is removed by chaitanya. Okay? Chaitanyena ajnanam nivartate. Athava, otherwise, just to make it simple and to condense it into simpler thing, athava pramaya. Because of this prama, now this is one mata, this is one opinion, one way of saying it. Vrittya avaranam nivartate chaitanyena ajnanam nivartate. And there is still one more this thing where it says vrittya ajnanam is removed, and by the chaitanyam the object is illumined. because illumination is what is the nature of the consciousness. So there is this still one more, but he gives you two things by saying athava. One opinion is what? Vritya avaranam is removed, and through chaitanyam ajnanam is removed. Now, athava pramaya, through this prama is there. Prama has taken place.
Yes,
So
sir.
through this prama, what has happened? Savaranam ajnanam nivartate. Savaranam, the ajnanam along with its avaranas is removed by the vritti, ghatakara vritti. Avaranam nivartate. Tato vishayaha spurati, and therefore now this vishaya becomes illumined. Through whom? Through the consciousness. What that consciousness means? Sakshina. Now which consciousness? Consciousness means what? Sakshina. Antakarna upahita chaitanyam sakshi. Who is this sakshi? Consciousness conditioned by antakaranam. No longer by antakarana vritti. Antakarana vritti avachinna chaitanyam already has done its function. Okay. Now over there antakarana upahita chaitanyam. Vritti avachinna chaitanyam nahi. It is antakarana upahita chaitanyam is called as sakshi. So the vishaya again is illumined by sakshi alone, and therefore it becomes direct experience. It is direct experience. Okay. All right. So we are now going to stop at this, but I still want you to think about why is he bringing antakarana upahita chaitanyam. What is antakarana upahita chaitanyam? Sakshi.
Sakshi.
Why is he saying that the vishaya is illumined by antakarana upahita chaitanyam? Well, the vritti has removed, the prama has removed ajnanam along with its avaranam. So let the chaitanyam in that place only be called as the illuminator, but he does not. He says that it is the chaitanyam which is conditioned by or limited by the antakaranam becomes the illuminator. Why? You have to think about this, and we will see this when we meet tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakrito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om. Thank you all. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Swamiji.
Thank you,
Hari
Swamiji.
Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Mahadev, Mahadev. From tomorrow onwards, Anand is not going to open the meeting. I'm going to open the meeting. So, yeah. So, Sarita,
Ji Swamiji.
are you
Yes,
okay to do the Mangala, this
Yes.
thing, Apna Dakshinamurti?
Yes. Yes, Swamiji.
Oh,
Anand has told
okay,
me
do
I'll
it.
do. Yes, Swamiji.
ठीक है महादेव महादेव महादेव